even with Snapjaw leading. But this time, usually it's Maggie who's pointing the direction to go. You guys seem to avoid a lot of the high mud bars and deeper waters that you had come across before.
Aldrik turns to Duergrim. Apparently they were useful.
We'll see what the bill is.
Part of the bill is having to listen to Polly sing. She
How loud is she? Is us being like a good distance away from her helping him?
Well, it helps. She is singing enough that you can hear her. It kind of echoes off certain parts of the swamp. She's not completely off tune most of the time. She seems to take or misunderstand some of the typical songs you might hear in a tavern, and so her songs don't completely make sense. She often repeats herself, and it's kind of like listening to 99 bottles of beer on the wall sometimes.
Duergrim will start a recitation of dwarven history. Not loud enough for the other boat to hear, but just loud enough for the two dwarves to reminisce and drown out the singing. Trym's on her own.
Aldrik contributes little bits and pieces, kind of throughout, strictly focusing more on the southern history, which he is more familiar with than the history. Right, you're from the north, right, Duergrim?
Yeah, ultimately.
Okay, yep.
And Trym absolutely keeps her pink potion to herself. There is no handing that over.
Polly does mention it a couple of times, but doesn't press the issue. Usually she just says that, lets you know that long trips can sometimes be more exciting with a little bit of drama.
Trym just responds and tells her, not that kind of drama, not right before a dragon. Whatever we might be doing with the dragon.
Maggie points out she's not leading you to the dragon. As part of the deal, she is leading you to where Uthgar's tower.
Oh, I know that. I'm just being prepared. If there's a dragon around, I might see it, maybe.
Okay. Go ahead, do perception check.
Okay. I will as soon as my sheet loads.
Okay.
It is not going anywhere. Roll20 is just like, no. Or my internet is like, no with Roll20. One or the other.
Might be Roll20. Seems a little laggy to me.
Oh, it is loading really slowly.
Could be the combo.
The other option is if you want to roll in Discord, that's fine too.
Okay, I might do that to start off with. Trying to remember what her perception. I think it's a 0. Pretty sure that's a 0. Okay, yep, that's just a straight 12. Nothing to add to it.
And because it's getting a little bit towards nighttime, and Polly tends to be kind of distracting. It doesn't really seem much that you would expect out of the ordinary. Occasionally you'll see Snapjaw kind of like surface or air, and usually he's visible just under the surface of the water. He kind of goes in between the two boats. He does tend to be underwater a little bit more when Polly's like at high volume.
Lucky lizard.
Aldrik, you see towards the east, very far in the distance, in the air, what appear to be 2 red spots flying.
Sorry, 2 red what?
Spots. You just see red. They fly. They don't look very bird-like.
Aldrik gestures and points him out to Duergrim and tries to call over to get Alvin and Trym's attention and point to them as well.
What do you reckon that is?
I don't know. Odd, certainly. Aldrik's going to keep a particularly close eye on them as they kind of approach and continue.
They aren't approaching. They're flying essentially north to south, almost like parallel to you, but not quite.
Parallel, but in the opposite direction. And kind of like off to the side.
So,
because we're going south to north, right?
You're going south to north. So they're going kind of south to north, but they're to the east.
Okay, so they're paralleling us going the same direction.
Going the same direction.
Okay, so then Aldrik will just kind of keep an eye on them to make sure they don't get any closer and try and see if he can make any determination as to what they might be. When Snapjaw surfaces, he'll also gesture and ask Snapjaw if he knows anything about them.
Yeah, Snapjaw kind of looks and goes, they seem to be flying pretty fast. And in fact, that's true, right? Even though they're going south to north, similar to the way you guys are, they fly faster than the boat, so they kind of like disappear from view after a little while.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys going to make camp for the night or continue?
Aldrik will turn to the others. I think we should seek to make camp when able, better not to approach over.
I would normally agree with that. And she's eyeing the two hags warily as she says that, like she would, that she agrees with him, but she's also, especially the dream comment, has got her skeptical.
Okay. Are you relying on the Maggie to tell you a good camping place, or are you guys going to figure on?
Aldrik will do his best to see if he can spot anything that looks like it might be reasonably dry and somewhat higher ground.
Okay. Go ahead, do a survival check. It's a little difficult to find some place that's dry in the swamp. You do find a couple of mud bars that surface above the water. Nothing very large, all kind of soppy. But there are some trees that go up as well, and there's the possibility of possibly climbing them a little bit to get up out of the moisture. But not quite. Some of the branches might make a place to rest, but not a large horizontal place.
If the boats are pulled up on the muddy area, I mean, they seem to stay pretty still, right?
Yeah.
Aldrik will kind of try and find a spot where he can sort of sleep halfway sitting up in the boat up on the mud.
All right, so you guys pull the dwarven boat up onto the muddy surface. I would say Alvin and Trym would probably pull up their boat next to you.
Aldrik would probably pull out some rope to see if it might be possible to kind of lash them together, maybe create a little more stable platform.
Now, are you guys setting a watch?
Standard watch, I would imagine. Aldrik will take the last watch before dawn. Duergrim had been taking the one right before me, right?
Yeah.
And then Alvin typically takes the first one, although Trym can do it too.
Yeah, either way. Or she could wiggle herself in between Alvin and
Sure.
Duergrim.
Yeah, you can kind of go in between. We'll each take a little bit shorter watch because there's four of us, and you can go after.
Even though Acodo doesn't actually need sleep. He can't figure that out, though.
Do all of us actually know that? I don't remember how many of us know that.
I don't think any of us know that.
Alvin might?
I know Trym at this point is beginning to suspect something because he just hasn't been sleeping much at all. So, but she doesn't know exactly what's up.
Okay. And at some point, Trym, before you go to sleep, Alvin sneak to you Resmir's journal. You have access to the handout.
No, because Roll20 is, like, after third time of reloading, is still stuck on a eternally loading page. So...
Where is Resmir's journal?
So Alvin had it in his pack.
Oh, okay, so it's not in the general available
It is
journals.
not.
Okay.
It is not. But he had said he was going to try to sneak it to, or actually to tried to talk to Trym about it through message, but I think we'll just use and this so Trym, I will put it in Discord just so you can take a look at it. If you want to try to get it to someone else, I would need a sleight of hand.
Okay.
So overall, the night goes by pretty quietly. Polly seems to settle down. She changes back into her hag form. She and Maggie actually take turns resting themselves. And at some point, probably during Duergrim's watch, there is the sound very far in the distance of actually the Drake horn, which you guys had not heard for a while.
Bloody hell. How many times is that?
Out of character 4?
Yeah, I was about to say it's about 4 or 5 times now. Which Trym would
I think that's the
probably
fourth.
keep count of that.
It seemed to go on a little longer this time than the last few. Had a slightly different sound, like someone was trying to make a different sound or call it.
What would I have to roll to figure that out? To figure out... I don't know. I can't even phrase that question.
What are you trying to figure out? What they're trying to communicate with the horn?
I guess? Or put my finger on how it's different?
The significance of the difference in the length, is that what you're thinking? Like an insight
Yeah,
check?
something like that. Yeah.
Use
Yeah,
an
you can
insight
try
check the
an
horn.
insight check.
I'm gonna insight check that horn. Duergrim's good at insight.
Listening to it, because you're on watch and you're listening very carefully, the distance makes it a bit difficult, but you are definitely able to tell that it's longer and it kind of rises and falls, but it doesn't sound like it's a regimented sound to it. It sounds almost experimental type. You know how if someone tries the bagpipes and you know someone who's skilled at the bagpipes trying the bagpipes something new with it versus someone who could just barely blow into it? It's like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe they have a new player.
Trym reads the journal very carefully and is pretty well engrossed in it.
Were you going to try to hand it off to anyone? Or alternatively, you don't have to. You can do anything.
Yeah, I think she would try to hand it off to Aldrik, if possible, and let him see it. There's a lot there I don't think Duergrim would catch or understand, but
Are you saying that Duergrim's not very smart?
Not to its face.
That's what I heard.
Just because he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't with us, I know.
Right. But yeah. I mean, she's not trying to hide it from Duergrim. Just. Yeah.
She was mainly trying to hide it from the women? Is that what the sleight of hand was all?
Yes. Unless you want them to see you passing this journal around, that's fine too. Do you want me to roll your sleight of hand?
I'll do it here in Discord. Yeah, I was just checking.
It's a 2.
Okay, sweet. That sucked. 8.
So as you kind of slide it over to Aldrik, you kind of look around and Polly's staring at you. And she says, Ursula said you weren't with the cult. How come you have a cult?
Yeah, because we don't work with the cult, and when they conveniently drop things, we pick them up. Finders, keepers, and all that.
She's all, I find they drop things more if you kill them.
Yeah, this seems to work best for me as well. Run them through and they don't need it anymore.
Yep. Don't suppose your lizard folk over there, she kind of gestures at Snapdragon who's sleeping, told you that they cuckold and holding them in the castle.
What was that last part, that they're holding them in the castle?
Yes.
Did Snapjaw mention that to anybody? I don't remember that.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't.
Trym considers it a moment, slowly shakes her head. No, he didn't mention it.
Oh, well, you didn't hear it from me.
I'm sure. She'll be sure to relay that bit to the dwarves and Aldrik, and I guess Acodo, if he's there.
Acodo's not with us.
Okay.
So the cut was at Waterdeep.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. Snap. Okay.
That's why we're not sleeping in a nice, comfy
Yes.
little hut.
I need
With
that.
the hags outside.
Right. That's right. Okay, so she'll definitely relay that to the dwarves and Alvin. And say, hey, should we approach Snapjaw about that? Or we let it lie?
I mean, who doesn't have a cultist prisoner at this point?
It might be worth discussing later on, but certainly not worth raising at this.
I'm not terribly concerned about it, so... Though I'm curious who it might be.
Certainly worth discussing after all of this.
Perhaps if things go well with the Black Death, perhaps the lizard folk will be willing to share their prisoner with us. But with the Dracon sounding again, I doubt the dragon's in the greatest of moods, if he hasn't hightailed it south already.
That's a good point. I'm curious to see what the Black Death's reaction to the Dracorn is. It would be to our benefit if he were somewhat resistant to his call.
All right. So, Aldrik, I did put the journal in that you have access to that.
I see it, thank you.
Okay. In the morning, it's a very quiet evening. In the morning, Snapjaw comes back from hunting. He's got a bunch of fish if anyone wants any. He does offer it.
Duergrim thanks him, but just eats dwarven rations.
If we had any way to cook it. I don't think we do. Yeah. Trym will just, will thank him and say, hey, small little fleshy stomachs have got to cook it before we eat it. So, unfortunately, I must pass.
He nods. He kind of eats the couple, smashes some flat to kind of dry out, and drapes them over the edge of one of the boats. I need another perception check.
From all of us?
Yeah.
Of course. First roll I get off and roll 20.
Oops, I forgot to take advantage off. That's just the 11.
That's Alvin's. Roll. Okay. Sometime in the morning, Alvin points out that he thought he saw a dark shadow in the water to the east.
How big?
A very large dark shadow.
That's good to know.
You know, as he points it out, Polly's kind of like looking over. Ooh, maybe it's a dragon.
First mention of the shadow, there's like Trym kind of halfway sitting up in the bolt and looking, and then trying to look bored. And she waves her hand at the hag. Yeah, maybe.
You lot don't seem the type to let dragons sneak up on you, or let anything dangerous sneak up on you, for that matter. Do you know what it is?
Maggie says, Polly's right. It's probably one of the dragons.
Wait, dragons? Plural?
Oh,
Maggie
Does the
shuts
black-
up.
Does the Black Death keep an entourage? I thought dragons were solitary.
Does he have a mate?
The Black Death is known to be solitary.
Then why did you mention multiple dragons?
Says because multiple dragons have lived in the mirror.
Do multiple dragons currently live in the mirror?
Maggie looks impatient. Does it look like I take an inventory? Of course not. They stay away from us, we stay away from them. Goes with the other animals too. Haven't you noticed no beasts attack while we're here?
I've noticed that.
Aldrik looks sort of quizzically at Harold on the side.
True.
Particularly regarding this whole what feels like kind of deception regarding she said multiple dragons and then kind of ouch.
Duergrim asks Alvin if it was moving, or if it was a stationary shadow.
Alvin tells him it was moving. It didn't seem to be moving toward him.
Well, I suppose we should let sleeping dogs lie, as it were. We have things to do. But I would expect people like the hags exactly to keep a list of everything in the mirror that might be a threat to them.
Trym is rubbing her sword hand and kind of like glancing around for the shadow.
Aldrik is still considering the potential ramifications of there being multiple dragons and trying to figure out what that would mean.
Just remember, Trym. Guaranteed dragon skull ahead of us. Don't get sidetracked.
It's fine, I'm fine. I wouldn't get sidetracked. Of course not. Not when there's a guaranteed dragon skull. Just a skull, no scales or anything.
Bangs.
Aldrik continues reading the journal and all of a sudden sits up straight, like with a possible realization.
Yes.
Aldrik says that Resume reported regularly seeing the Black Death in one spot, and then a mere moment later in a completely different spot, and
Right.
suspected teleportation.
That I read over that 2 or 3 times as well. Very curious.
And now our new friends, Aldrik, glances over at the ladies. Slipped about there being multiple dragons, although they've walked back that statement. He looks directly at them. Are there 2 black dragons in the mirror?
She says, I already answered you. And at this point, just so you know, you guys are like passing by what appears to be like a submerged sort of town. There's buildings that are mostly just skeletons of buildings, and there appear to be like 5 or 6 of them made of brick. Algae's growing on them as you pass through. It is quiet here as well.
What time is it?
So it is late morning.
Do you know how much further we have to travel to the tower?
Well, we're trying to get there by tonight. Usually it would take 4 days from where we met, but we're speeding things along.
I suppose we should just... Suppose there's no reason to stop in this town then. Should continue on.
The last time we got involved with seeking things under the water in the mirror, things went poorly for us. I would not recommend doing it needlessly again.
So the sun is low in the sky, and you can see through some of the trees and such sticking out of the water is just a bit of what appears to be a rock and stone structure. It in the distance, but also sticking out around it are what appear to be the heads, skeleton heads. I mean, just skulls. Quite a few of them, and also some that have that look like they might be minotaurs. You guys are still a ways out, but as you approach, you notice the heads start turning to look your direction. Right, they're halfway submerged, and then they just kind of turn towards you, a little bit at a time, and more and more.
How far away are they from us?
So, looking out, they are probably somewhere around 300 to 400 feet before the first one is there. I mean, the towers, it's quite a distance, but they are white skulls in dark water, so you can kind of see them.
Okay,
With
but
the
they're
dark socket.
out of divine sense reach. Alright, Trym just kind of watches them and says, I'm not the only one seeing this, right?
Holly's all, oh, yeah, that's that undead horde.
We should pause here. I think we may have tools to pass them by without being molested overmuch.
I suspect that would be the case.
And Duergrim will pull out the ring of Merkel and put it on, and he'll need a while to attune to it.
Polly kind of waves the other one around, but Maggie reaches over and grabs it from her and puts it on. And then Polly kind of sulks.
As long as we do not attack them, any weaker undead should remain under our thrall as we approach. It should not bother us. Keep your hands to your damn selves.
Trym is smirking at Duergrim before she says, "So you've become an undead thrall master now?"
I swear to God, half pint I am going to drown you into this swamp if you keep it up.
She just starts giggling. She can't help herself.
Aldrik keeps a very carefully neutral face throughout.
Duergrim starts casually tossing his hand axe in the air from his boat.
Trym tries to rein herself under control, but every once in a while she'll have little silent fits of giggles.
Duergrim mutters to himself, by whatever means necessary.
If only a Lich Lane were here to see this.
Right?
Once he's attuned, Duergrim will say, "Let's go find this adventurer. Take his ring. Probably have to kill him." But all for the greater good.
Would, say just as a thought, I can just, looking at object allows me to describe or name an object that is familiar to me, and I sense the direction to the object's location as long as it's within 1,000 feet of me. Now, there are two other rings of Merkle near me.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to name the ring of Merkle specifically excluding those two? I'm familiar with that type of object. I don't, is familiar is not particularly descriptive as far as what that. Oh wait, there is more. Oh no, I have to have seen it. The nearest object of a particular kind. Says I have to have either seen it up close. I don't think seeing something similar would count. So
so if you are looking specifically for the other ring, I would say would not necessarily find this. Mostly because the rings of Merkel, there's actually several of them. They belonged to a sect, the Undead sect, which all the clerics had these rings. So there's actually many more than 3 of them.
Got it. Okay. Well, and it says that unless I've actually seen the specific one, it'll find, an object of that type. And so I don't know that I can be that specific in naming it.
Right. It would end up pointing at Duergrim or something.
All right.
Okay. So, Duergrim, you and Maggie are walking towards this horde. If you count them, looking at the number of skulls that you see, there's approximately, at least within sight, that you can see 30 or 40 of them.
So we're on land now?
So you are on, you could call it land. I would call it difficult terrain. Some of it's deeper puddles, some of it is, it kind of undulates up and down, some of it is mud. It's a variety. At no point as you are, if you are walking, does it go up above mid-thigh. But I would say because of the change in elevation of the land, some parts are too shallow for the boat to go. So you would have to kind of walk or drag a boat over some parts of it.
Okay. Joker will ride his crocodile.
Okay.
Charge, my noble steed.
My crocodile. I am an undead warlord on a crocodile steed.
Oh my god.
Wow.
How's that?
Only Morden can see you now.
He can.
Oh, by the way, Trym, I would say since it's been essentially the next day, you also could have brought Grog back.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, oh, snap, he poofed at one point.
Yeah, he did, but you've slept since then, so I would say that you probably cast the spell before you slept. So that way you regain that spell.
Okay.
So are the rest of you following Duergrim closely, far away, watching him go? What are you doing?
Aldrik is following, maybe 10 feet behind.
Okay. Are you trying to make it in the boat, or?
Does it look like there's anything deeper going forward past it, or does it just look like it's like this pretty much for a while?
So you guys are probably about 200 feet away from these skulls, and it does look like the water gets deeper, closer to where they are, closer to the tower. Unless they're all midgets, they're
Aldrik will attempt to bring the boat as far as he's able to.
When you guys are about 30 feet back, so Duergrim, you're about 20 feet back. The rest of you are about 30 feet back. Skeletons start rising from the water. Their heads kind of are connected now to bodies, and they're about hip deep. They do seem to be ignoring you, Duergrim. They seem to be keying in on the people beyond.
Duergrim will hold up his hand with the ring, and he'll say, well, the living here are my guests, and you shall leave them be. Does he get any response?
I better check this out and see if what I put in your description matches what is actually in the description. Okay. So this is what happens when I go to two different sources. The original source does say it doesn't attack the ring's wearer. It also has more magic associated.
Well, I mean, just let me know.
No, I've got to go with what I gave you. So we need to check another thing then. Okay, there are 3 skeletons that do not ignore you. The rest of them do seem to be letting you guys pass. There are 3 skeletons that look like minotaur that rise up.
Duergrim draws his
Directly towards
pole.
all of you, actually.
Duergrim draws his pole arm. I think these are too powerful for the ring to control. Just as long as you leave the others be, these 3 should be our only problem.
Very well.
Alright, so put you a map. Actually, we'll just have you guys roll initiative right now. I know you guys did, right? Except for Trym, is that who I'm missing? Trym, do you want me to roll your initiative? He's still on.
She's taking a drinking.
Right. Trym, do you need me to roll your initiative?
I think I can get it, maybe. Let's see.
Alvin has a title now?
I was just noticing that.
I don't know what he normally rolls, but I just hit the.
No, it's it's the Alvin the Curious bit. Normally just...
Well, now he's the curious, like it or not.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find this now. Oh.
You seem very inquisitive today, Alvin.
Alvin waves.
Why was he not here tonight? Did I miss that memo?
He has to work early tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm gonna put you on the clear screen.
Oh, she looks even prettier in token form.
And all right. I'll open this up first. Okay. He'll come up and hit. And you can get one quarterstaff, one unarmed strike. Okay, so he's got this one stunned. Bludgeoning is actually double damage. And then you can move. Alright, Trym, you're up.
Okay, so quick question. You said this was like difficult terrain in here, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah. And has something that ignores the terrain, but I can't remember what.
Okay. So do the crocs, can they ignore the terrain? Since they're swamp creatures, basically?
Yes, because this is, so you use their swim speed.
Okay. Sweet. That's not the best, but it's better than...
I'm assuming, like Duergrim, you're riding your croc?
Yeah. Surfboard style. And, alright, so now if I can get the measuring tool to work for me. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so we will move up to this guy. Here, roughly.
Okay, one reminder. Duergrim told you not to attack the skeleton.
Yeah, he said to only attack the giant ones.
Only attack the
thinks
giant
that,
ones. Okay.
He thinks that if we attack the little ones, they'll all turn on us. Right now, he thinks they'll ignore us. He might even be right.
Okay. Alright. Okay, that's her movement then. I guess for the big one. Oh! I don't really know how this would work, but we'll try to viciously mock the big one, and she'll tell it, "Hey, bonehead, come pick on somebody your own size," as she draws her sword.
Okay.
Why? It does not work. Okay. I thought I had fixed this. Okay, so his wisdom save, DC 15. Sweet.
So he fails. So 3d4. 9. 40.
Yeah, that was 4.
Okay, it's 3d4, right?
Yes, it's 3d4.
Okay.
Would you like me to re-roll, or do you
No.
want to just...
The last
Okay.
one.
Okay. Can't believe 3 crits and a fail. It's
Okay.
great.
Any other movement, action, or anything like that?
Nope. I think that's good for the moment. We'll see what happens.
All right, Aldrik.
Aldrik calls forth his virtual weapon to attack the one that Alvin had attacked. I guess I need to move in range first. Oh no, the range is 60 feet, just the movement that's slow. So he this is the one that Alvin had attacked.
Okay, that hit. Force. All right. That killed.
Kills it, okay. And then the one over by Trym that Trym mocked, he'll use 6 foot.
All right.
And that's the end of his turn.
All right. That brings us to the skeletons. So, first of all of these skeletons do move forward. They're not attacking, they're just saying hello.
I'm imagining them like the green aliens in Toy Story, all coming toward Duergrim. Daddy.
Kind of like there is one of the minotaur skeletons says, in an odd voice, "You need to leave."
Insight. Is this the Minotaur's voice or someone's puppeting him?
When?
Don't know.
Yeah. Do suspect that minotaurs aren't much for language. And it does. toward Trym. And swing at you.
Alright.
Got 40 feet movement. Well, it is going to swing its great axe at you. 21 hit.
Yes. Her armor class is an 18.
So, great axe swings toward you. Ouch, 25 damage.
Ouch.
Can I warding flare that? Force the disadvantage?
Yes, the roll.
Yeah, the attack roll.
Okay.
Oh well. Sorry, Trym.
That's alright.
This one is charging through. So, first of all, Aldrik, your spiritual weapon gets an attack of opportunity. Duergrim, this one's just trying to charge straight for you with the antlers down, trying to gore you.
Okay. Duergrim also gets an attack of opportunity.
Okay. He misses.
Great weapon master. Oh, I bet 11 doesn't hit.
11 does not.
Okay.
And mine did 6 force.
Alright. Okay. Because that thing kind of charged past it, these strange plant-like creatures kind of raise out of the water with these tentacle-looking appendages, and they smell very atrocious. And in some of their tentacles, you can see, or this one at least, you can see it carrying some sort of corpse or something.
Oh, lovely.
Delightful.
And it just kind of moves closer. Yep. All right. That brings us to
Okay. Duergrim's going to
okay.
He's going to move over here with Slag 2.
Okay. You're riding Slag.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Since Slag can't reach, Slag's going to attack the Minotaur right next to him. And then Duergrim's going to attack the Minotaur by Trym.
Okay.
No. We'll Great Weapon Master these.
Okay.
14?
14 hit. Nice. You can roll that 20 on that.
No. There.
Okay.
Come on, Trym.
You want to do a sleight of hand?
Sure. I can get my sheet to work with me. There we go. Wow.
I tried, Trym.
That's okay.
My roll 20 just crashed.
Yeah.
Trym killed it.
It's your fault, Trym.
My fault.
Your sleight of hand was so bad.
Well, if Duergrim had kept his thralls under control.
Hey, I got them all thralled. Though, I will say, seeing them bunched up like this, if I were Aldrik, I would not be able to resist.
Aldrik is going to patiently wait until we kill the big ones first. Will Aldrik have any idea of what the approximate CR of these ones might be?
You know that they're under 6 hit die. They don't look fancy, if that helps.
Probably. I mean, these look like pretty much your garden variety undead, right?
Yes.
They were planted here. Like turnips.
Dated snapshot for a very long time. Sorry, Jerome. I completely forgot the damage part.
No, I'm finally getting around to it, don't worry. Oh.
And this is on the one in front of Trym, right?
Yes, so the first hit, um, 22 slashing, 7 radiant.
Okay.
Second one is 26 slashing, 16 radiant. Is it still up?
No.
Okay. Duergrim spins his halberd over his head, slashing it. He comes around, keeping his momentum up. He puts a last attack into the Minotaur next to him. Also a great weapon master. Yes.
This is your third attack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's okay, so that's 19 bludgeoning and 9.
Okay. Okay. And as you killed the other one, just so you know, you see something kind of wispy, shadowy pull out of it as it collapses to the ground, and then it comes out there, and then kind of flies or glides towards the tower.
Can I identify it?
Looks like a shadow.
Like as in like the creature shadow?
Not the creature's shadow. More like you probably have fought undead that look incorporeal.
Oh, okay, so it's some incorporeal. Like
Mhm.
we fought in the Doom Vaults, we fought a bunch of shadows there.
Yes. Kind of like. It's not quite.
Yuck. Duergrim points it out to everyone else.
I suspect that may be connected to the issue with the undead.
Sorry?
The problem from the dwarves, remember the undead who just keep coming?
Oh, yeah. Keep coming. That might be it, yeah. Yep, so that's Duergrim's turn.
Okay. Then Snapjaw went a little bit of damage with his shield, and then it is Alvin's turn. Attack this thing. He's probably not going to move on those plants they haven't attacked yet. Trym?
Okay. Maybe necessary for you to roll for me, as it hasn't recovered from the crash yet.
Well, there's not really anything to attack at the moment. It's
Oh.
aggressive towards us.
Yeah, unless you go after a flower. No.
Okay. Where did she see... I guess she would move toward the shadow thing that Duergrim pointed out. Even if it's flying or something, she's going to try to at least get a little closer to it.
So you saw this, when Duergrim pointed it out, you saw this shadow that was moving away from you. It was never really close to you, but it came out of the Minotaur and moved towards the, what remnants of the tower are still sticking up out of the water, kind of off to the side, and just passed right through the wall.
Ooh, okay.
Now, you're welcome to go after it. You'd have to wade through a bunch of skeletons.
Okay. Yeah, she'll try doing that, and if any of them act aggressively toward her, then yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, she'll just use her and Grug's movement to try to get toward the ruins then, if there's really nothing else to attack.
Okay. So essentially a straight line towards the tower.
Yes. I'm having a hard time getting my map to load too, but I basically remember it.
Okay. So you would kind of have to go around the skeletons. What are my squares? 'Cause I'm out. Okay, but if you skirt around the skeleton and make your way to the tower, you come up against the wall. That's open. It looks pretty solid. From where you are, from where you ended up, you do not see any entrance here, but you could kind of like skirt around it if you wanted to.
Okay. She'll let the others know that it seems rock solid on this side. But before she goes anywhere, she'll wait. She doesn't want to leave line of sight at all or anything with her companions.
Okay.
So, I think I'll just call that her turn.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah. All right. So now that used pretty much Grug's movement to get there. I don't know if you want to stay there or come back or what. You probably still have about 30 feet.
Oh, okay. No, she'll stay there.
Okay. All right. Aldrik?
Aldrik will come across. And call out to others. I could take care of a good number of these skeletons right now if we wanted to.
Duergrim shrugs. It's up to you. I don't think they'll pose a problem either way.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last bit. You don't think?
They'll pose a problem either way. I suppose it's neater to get rid of them. Just don't go using up resources. If we raise this tower tonight, we might be in for a big fight.
Fair enough. Why don't we deal with them.
Maggie does say to you, they'll be back up in a little bit anyway.
Well, if we had some time, I could deal with that too.
Polly tells you, well, the tower won't rise till the moon does.
Aldrik nods and he'll just leave it there. He will take his hammer and kind of move it over towards.
Over towards.
Trym.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't seen any sign of these flower things being mobile. So as far as so far,
yes, you did see this one move. The one closest.
oh, it did. Okay.
It didn't. When the Minotaur surged by it. Okay. End turn?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Okay. This one is going to come closer. And then it's going to strike out at you, Duergrim. 10-foot reach with the tentacles.
Oh, if it comes within 10 foot of me and appears to be hostile, Duergrim will.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
20 feet of you right now.
Yeah. It's sorry, if I said Duergrim, I meant Aldrik.
Oh,
I
okay.
said Duergrim.
You did.
Okay. No, it just.
If it's an attack, I'll warding flare it if it looks like it's behind.
Okay. All right. So this close. By the way, Aldrik, you can see that it does kind of like carry in one of its tentacles. It has a decaying humanoid. And then it's going to attempt twice, and then attempt grabbing the Minotaur skeleton. Okay, so warding flare that first one.
Yep.
Alright, so both miss. You see it reach past you for the Minotaur skeleton and, with another tentacle and grab it and stuffs it inside itself.
Aldrik raised an eyebrow. Well, that was something different.
Alright, and then this one, Trym, is coming towards you.
Oh, okay.
Here, it's going to try to get Grog with one of its tentacles and you with the other two. Grog, this is, and for you. 19.
19 would hit.
Where is cons? Hold on.
Now, okay. Let me see. Let me look at her stout halfling traits. Okay. She does get advantage on poison saving throws. So let me roll it one more time.
Because you add on the bonus. Save. 14.
So I made it. Perfect.
It still gets kind of purple. Okay, Duergrim, you're up.
Duergrim will the skeletons to move aside, clear a path to the tower, and then he's going to move up into this gap here so he can get within 10 feet of the corpse flower, and he's going to attack it.
Okay.
Does 12 hit?
12 does hit.
Oh, okay. Okay, so first hit is 10 slashing, 4 radiant. Second hit is 11 slashing, 2 radiant. Third hit is 8 bludgeoning, 1 radiant.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. All right. Trym. First of all, I need both you and Frog to do another Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
The stench of death is coming off of this flower.
Okay, so this isn't for poison.
This is not. And one for Frog.
Attempting to pull up his sheet.
And this is his stench of death.
He's AC 12, 19 HP.
Oh, wait, there's the other one. Okay. So disregard the 15. So Trym got a 5, Grog got a 9.
Okay. Plus your aura, but still shy of 14, right?
Yes.
Okay. So unfortunately you are incapacitated until the end of the Aldrik, I'm gonna need a constitution saving throw from you guys. Within 10 feet. You get Duergrim's.
I do. So makes 14.
Yep. So you are immune to this horrible stench for 24 hours. Okay, and you can attack.
Alright, so I'll move my spiritual weapon back over. Hits, right?
Yep.
Oops, sorry, not that one. Presumably they aren't very dexterous. So here's hoping.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you hit with to with its bonus action absorb one of the humanoid corpses. Regain. I'm going to strike out you, Aldrik. And you, Joker. Actually, we'll just do one. Okay. So, Aldrik, this one's on you, and this one's on Duergrim, and this one's on Flag.
I'll warning flare that one that
Okay.
just whacked.
Alright. So they all miss. And we cannot grab that other minotaur. Alright. Duergrim, we need a constitution saving throw for you and Slag. Okay, you pass.
Looks like he failed.
Yeah, so he's just incapacitated. Put it in the
Okay. Well, Duergrim will lash out at the plant again.
Yep.
Great weapon master this time.
Okay.
The last hit is a 14. Yeah, 14.
Okay.
Actually, that first one had a crit fail.
Oh,
Oh, the second one.
second one. Okay. But your other number wasn't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on.
Aww.
That's kind of harsh.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So yeah. Wait. What did I say? 9. Yeah, 19 bludgeoning.
Okay.
5 radiant.
All right. It's looking pretty bad. It still smells very bad. Let me stay far away from it. And Trym.
Okay.
Let's say this is make a Constitution saving throw again. Or not. All right, so you guys both smell the horrid putrid smell, but now are able to shake it off.
Yay. Were we supposed to do that save at the beginning or end of our turn? End of the turn.
Yeah.
Snap. Okay. Do we have any movement?
Yeah, you can. You are now considered immune to his stench of death.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So you essentially get your entire turn.
Oh. Okay. I
Right.
assumed whenever it said end of turn that was all you got to do.
Only if you fail.
Gotcha. Okay. Sweet. So we will move up here to this guy. And
I'm moving Grog back a step because I know it doesn't show, but this thing takes up the whole.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
No problem.
He just looks cute.
Yeah. Alright, no problem. Come on, roll 20, work with me.
Nice fight.
Good job, Grog.
Okay. And it is grapple.
Nice.
Aldrik.
Aldrik whacks the one there in front of him with his switch weapon again. And Sacred Fire. Alright, so no damage. And that's the end of my turn.
Alright.
So are the hags just kind of like hag Snapjar, just like chilling through all this?
Snapjaw's been attacking.
Oh, has he? I just haven't been noticing.
Yeah, he's been throwing javelins and he hit the one with the shield and club. I think he missed club.
Where the ladies are just kind of watching.
Their deal was no helping, no hindering.
Okay. No, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. So it is going to try to reach out with its tentacles. First, it's going to eat another one of the body. And flag reach. So, Aldrik, these first two are for you, and the third one is for. 1, 2, nice. These flowers don't roll very well. Okay, Duergrim. Oh, sorry, got the other one. Trym, these ones are for you and Grog. 2 for you. And 1 for Grog.
The 19 and the 23 both hit.
Okay. Alright, so you need a DC con save twice with advantage because it's poison. Otherwise, the tentacles only do 11. Nice. Okay, now Duergrim.
Okay, Duergrim's gonna keep attacking. Great weapon now. Man, why am I shouldn't bother today.
I was gonna say, you're like a corpse on.
Yep. 13 hit.
13 does hit.
So, 18 bludgeoning, 8 radiant.
Okay, that's enough to kill him.
Awesome. Bloody flowers need to stay in the ground where they belong.
Agreed.
Range.
He's helping.
Okay. All right. So you guys finish off these large ivy-like plants, and they kind of like fall over. You can see as they dissolve into the water, they expose these corpses that just kind of float. They look like they've been in the plants for a while. And it's still small. The sun is now starting to go down. Polly and Maggie say that when the moon rises, the rings should activate and raise the power.
Even if they aren't all in our possession.
And Maggie says the rings just have to be present.
So what do we do now? Should we go looking for this adventurer? Or should we just wait? Oh, that's to the group party.
Okay.
I'm going to keep hunting. If everyone else is. I mean, for the most part. She says as she dabs at some wounds. Or I could take a rest. I don't care. I think I zoned out. What time of day is it now? Or evening?
So it is essentially the sun is setting right now. It's still got a little bit of light on the horizon, but it's getting to be dark. The moon has not risen yet. Duergrim probably has to sit down and repair his armor for a few rounds.
Are all these other skeletons just still chilling?
They appear to not be attacked.
Well,
They look to be kind of slowly accumulating around Duergrim. And
Aldrik steps next to Duergrim and casts Destroy End.
okay,
Which I think is I only need to copy and paste.
thanks. 'Cause I would actually say a lot of these other skeletons have come closer to.
That's kind of what I was thinking, so that's why I'm next.
The ring has slowly been attracting them.
Basically, they all make a wisdom save within 30 feet of me, which right now is a whole bunch of them. If they fail and their CR2 or less, they die. If they succeed, they're turned. Which means they'll run away from us.
And how long do they run away?
It doesn't. Oh, turn for 1 minute.
And what's your DC?
17. Looks like 4 of them make it.
No, they have a -1. So 2.
Oh, okay. And there's 28 of them left.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 28 of them that die.
So, yeah.
You said it's starting to get dark. How dark is it?
It is, the sun is essentially just a sliver where you still have light, but you don't really have much heat left.
Aldrik's going to turn to the others, unless we're planning. So we've got some time here before set. If you don't have anything better, I'm going to go take care of preventing many of these from rising again. I prepared Jump Pose this morning, which is a 10-minute ritual, and things can't rise for 10. So Aldrik will go around casting out for a bunch of them until we think it's close to time.
Okay.
Well, I would kind of like to find this adventurer. If we just wait for the tower to rise, then we'll likely have to fight the Lich and Ebon Death and the adventurer all at once if the adventurer is really under the Lich's control. I don't know how we
What do you
might go
propose?
We have a few hours to kill Right, but maybe we can try and find him. Somewhere around here. He's in the tower. Is there a way inside?
Aldrik turns and looks at the 2 witches.
So, Maggie says, what adventurer are you referring to?
You told us that the third ring was here at the tower, in possession of an adventurer under the influence of the Lich.
Oh, yes, Ursula said that. That was a adventurer many centuries ago.
Oh, so there's just a ring lying around here somewhere.
I'm assuming there's a skeleton in the tower with a ring on it.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I suppose I'm fine with waiting.
Okay, so Aldrik, you're going around, you're essentially consecrating the ground so the undead cannot rise again.
Not the grounds. I have a 10-minute ritual spell that I can cast on each corpse
Oh, okay.
to prevent it from rising for 10 days. It's a gentle repose here. I should.
Okay, so 280 minutes, essentially?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just be spending time doing that until, obviously if it looks like it's rising, I'll stop.
Okay. A couple of things. I'm going to assume that you start with the biggest things like the Minotaurs.
Correct, yes.
And then go...
The Minotaurs, and then I'll do the corpse flowers, because I don't really know if they could be raised and made undead too, and I don't want to do it. Actually, I'll probably skip the corpse flowers, but yeah. Start with the Minotaur, so I guess technically... Well, there's only one... Was there 2 Minotaur corpses left? Or did the corpse flower eat 2 of them already?
The corpse flower ate... Definitely one. I think it ate the other one too.
So I guess I'll just do the one here.
And then eventually the two skeletons that ran came back, and you guys killed them off too, is what I'm going to assume.
Sure. Yep, so if everything is done, I guess that'd be 310 minutes. So I'll probably run out of time before we get there. But we'll start off with the big one and then kind of do as many things.
Yeah. I would say you would be probably about 3.5 hours in. So you get quite a few things. The majority of them, but not all of them. And the moon does start to rise slowly. It looks to be a moon that is full, but it seems to have this weird sort of shadow on it. And you notice that the glassy surface of the mirror right near the tower starts to rip. And then moments later, the surface breaks and the tower surges up out of the water. And a deluge of fluid pours out of the cracks and narrow windows that open through the algae-covered walls. And there are some last traces of fine stonework, but overall the walls are straight, and more of the ruin rises until you understand how tall this structure was. Kind of
Like a reverse fall of Sauron's tower.
yes,
That's
with
cool.
lots of water. And it takes about a full minute before it is completely straight up and down, and brackish water just flows out through pretty much any window or gap. I'm assuming you guys aren't like trying to get in while it's rising.
No.
Nope.
Stay far away. Well, sufficiently far away.
When it finally kind of seems to settle and not move anymore, it is on top of like a rocky, it's not quite a hill, it's a little taller than that, but certainly not a mountain. But and it has worn steps that go up the 30 feet to the front door. You can tell that the steps are covered with algae and grime, very slippery.
Well, shall we?
Let's. Good thing Kale's not here. He'd want this one too.
What? Bust it down.
So a couple of things. As you try to climb the stairs, like I said, it's very slippery. You need an acrobatics check to kind of safely ascend. They're about 30 feet up. They're pretty steep, but similar to old steps that are made of stone, they are kind of depressed and smoother in the center.
I wish the Lichlin were here, or at least his owl.
So we need an acrobatics.
Yes.
Aldrik says a brief prayer.
All right. A couple of things. Hags are not very dexterous. Um, so on the stairs, Maggie does slip and falls prone, and Polly falls and slides all the way down the steps down into the swamp.
Aww.
They don't too happy. Okay, and it takes them a little bit longer. They're much more slower coming up the next time. You guys, in the meantime, have reached what appears to be a gatehouse with a sharply sloping roof, and appears to be the only entrance into the tower at this level. Though you think that if you flew up to the top, you could also enter through the top, because the roof is, if it was a roof, but the stone is kind of. There are 2 doors with reinforced steel bands, but it looks like they've been swollen shut just from being submerged for a long time. And but it does not look like there is any sort of lock, just that they're swollen.
Well, shall we?
I suppose we shall.
What? I need a strength check. You guys are trying to break the door. Or you.
Aldrik will cast guidance on Duergrim, presumably. Or
Oh yeah. Trym essentially marches straight up to the doors, shoves them open.
Does anybody see a dragon? No, not really.
Not yet. Give it time.
Um,
And just an FYI, I'm fading out pretty quickly. So if I don't respond suddenly.
well, I think we'll probably want Alvin here before we get too much further along.
We'll get you guys into the door and.
Okie dokie.
Hey, Alvin, we killed the Drinker Lich. Missed it. No.
And you have a dragon.
Yeah. Next game he shows up too. Handing
Trym
a
at the
dragon
dragon
head.
head.
Yes.
She's
What do you
wearing
think
it.
of that? Huh? Yeah, wearing it. Hang on, guys, I have to pick up my skirts. Clunk, 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 clunk.
So let me just describe a few things as you come into the tower. For the most part, this tower seems as if it has not had anyone come into it or explore it in the recent past. First, after you break down the doors, you enter into a great hall, and this hall is devoid of anything that furnishings, uh, decorations, just pretty much uh, stone and two swollen, rotted doors that lead past. Beyond that, you come into a U-shaped room, uh, and the doors leading out of this lead first to a barracks, because there are a dozen closely crowded bunk beds, and then an armory that has a few rusted weapons still scattered on the floor, and part of the ceiling has collapsed, and you can see some of the sky upward. That you could probably even slip up that opening. The last door coming out of the the U-shaped room is stairs that it's a spiral staircase, and it appears to lead both up and downward. Centuries of neglect and erosion have caused it to collapse after about 25 feet upward, but it definitely continues to spiral down.
Well, mausoleums are generally down, right?
That would be traditional.
So we can pick this up next week. Are you planning on going up or down?
I think down?
Down, I suppose.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So I will at least tell you these stairs do lead several, at least 50 to 75 feet downward. Okay? You enter into stone chambers that are built, the walls are all slick with grime and moisture, and it is cold in here. You can still see that there's a bit of moisture on the ground as well, but it is not like this place had been underwater. The ceilings are vaulted, and they're usually around 10 to 12 feet high. And then, of course, you can hear all the dripping and sloshing and echoes. And the last thing you notice as you enter the mausoleum is there is a faint, monotonous voice that sounds like it is saying some sort of sinister sounding chant. All right.
Oh no. Good times.
Yeah.
No dead adventurers yet.
Yet.
Are you guys all good to play next Monday as far as you know, or is because I know we're hitting holiday season.
That should be fine for me.
Should be fine for me too.
As far as I know.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
No dragons yet.
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 Key phrase.